Well, good evening. Another beautiful day here in Western Michigan. I think it's about 6 o'clock, and just got back from the gym. Going to smoke me a Tatiana. If you can see where that's at. You can see that. This is a Tatiana. It's called a Groovy Blue. I guess it smells like blueberries. It's one of the sweet ones. It's much longer than the Kentucky Fire Cure. I went up to get one of those on my way back from the gym, and they were sold out. So I have purchased them online. There's a place, Cigars International, but by the time I purchased them and paid for the shipping and all the tax, it was just as expensive as going up here to the local store and picking them up. So if I can support local business, I will do that gladly. As I said, it is an absolutely gorgeous day out. Leaves are probably at 20% of changing. Crickets are out. We've been averaging about 90 degrees here, so it's a little bit more, a little bit hotter than what we would typically have. Problem with some of these Tatianas is the wrapping on the end kind of comes off. That makes a very bad experience, at least for me. I know there's some stuff you can get to rub on that kind of fixes it, but I just haven't done it. Anyway, I talked a little bit about this in the past, not to any particular in depth. I did mention in my last video how I think I mentioned, I think that's an eagle. It's coming over. I mentioned I like analog stuff. I work in the world of digital, online learning, but maybe because I've worked in digital so much in my life that I like the analog whenever I have a chance. Just nature. And I've always enjoyed in history kind of always enjoy the simple pleasures or art of practices. I'm not really sure what I would call it, but pipe smoking or cigar smoking. I think pipe smoking is a little bit more of an art. I tend to gravitate more toward that, especially in the winter months. Things get cold. I go downstairs into the library. I've not been in the library for a while. Had someone ask about the library. I am working on it, doing some updating to it. But in the summer, and especially in the fall, I love being outside. And I won't smoke a cigar in the house. That's a little bit too strong. So whenever the cold hits, I will go inside, bury myself into the basement, and I'm just surrounded by books and smoke, aromatic smoke. So I love that. Makes the books smell good too. But pipe smoking, there's an art. You've got your pipe. You take care of the pipe. You have to pack the pipe right. You have to light it. You have to kind of nurse it to make sure that it stays lit. There's an art to it. I also like writing. As I said, I do a lot of stuff with digital. So social media, I don't get engaged in too much. Very, very rarely do I deal with social media. I guess in a sense I don't know very many people, but the very few people that I do converse with or know, I mean, they're very close to me, so I'm happy to do that. But in general, I don't really stay very much on social media, but because I'm on working with computers and stuff so much during the day, I love to write with a fountain pen. This is what is known as a Twisby. That's the screw top. It has a piston fill, so you just screw this part and it fills this. This one's almost just a little bit to the top there. I can fill it all the way down. I just purchased some ink, and I bought most all my pens a place called Goulet Pens. I think they're over near North Carolina. I believe I saw a video on that, but I bought a couple pens like this, these types of fountain pens. I have one that's actually clear, two of them that are of this nature. I did buy another pen, and it looks more like a traditional pen. This one is more my gaming pen. I don't know if you can really see that, but there's a warrior inscribed on that. See his little face right there? I don't know if you can really see it, but this one you just kind of twist, and beautiful writing pen. That became my official gaming pen, so whenever I do game, I will utilize that. But I also enjoy, with my pens, is just writing. I've mentioned before also that I'm writing a novel, a fantasy novel, because I am a geek to such an extent that as I've said, I've written my own role-playing game. That's pretty geeky. Almost done with the second version of that, but when I'm writing my story, I don't usually use a pen. I will make notes with my story. If I'm doing any teaching, I will make notes with my pen. I love taking notes with it, but I will write stuff in my notebook, and I enjoy notebooks. This is what is called a Midori Traveler's Book. I started doing some woodworking, not woodworking, I've done woodworking before, but I started doing leather working. And this one really it's a very simple, it's got an outer shell, and this is just the leather part. You have an inner part, and then you have these individual notebooks. You can kind of see they're individual notebooks, and they're put together with some elastic. And I have a couple different ones. I mean, this is just kind of dotted notebook. I have one that's plain. I don't usually use the line. If I'm drawing stuff up, I will, like for the downstairs, I've been drawing up plans for the gaming table, plans for how I'm going to organize things downstairs. I love writing with a pen. And again, it's just it's a very analog, a very physical thing to do. And I think we lose sight of some of that, just the art of writing. C.S. Lewis always wrote with a dip pen. I actually have a dip pen. I have an inkwell. And I think I was telling you about ink just a minute ago. I seem to have ADHD or something today. I bought ink, and it's all Lord of the Rings based ink. I know it's a gimmick, but it worked on me. I recognize that marketing works on me. The ink bottles are just amazing, and they have the Lord of the Rings, and so I'm going to be filling my pens up with that. But I digress. I forgot what I was talking about. But just writing, I enjoy that. Writing in notebooks, especially leather notebooks. Lutern is another one that I use. It has a organizational system to it. I can take notes. If I'm doing a research, I'll pick my notes in that. Oh, C.S. Lewis, that's what I was talking about. C.S. Lewis would write with a dip pen, and he would write, and then he would dip it. And he said the time it took him to dip the pen and to come back and start writing is the time he'd formulate the next sentence. And he could pretty much, with the ink, he could write an entire sentence. And that's how he would write all of his stuff. He never typed. I mean, he would just dip, write out what he was going to say, dip, and he would think about it. Tolkien did that, I guess, in some sense. My love of fountain pens kind of comes And it's not only because I enjoy it, but it's nostalgia. I mean, a lot of the people that I admire, authors like C.S. Lewis and Tolkien, used fountain pens, or probably more in the early part of their life, dip pens, because that's what they had. But to me, that's something that you can pass down. I also have a pocket watch. I do have a Garmin. I love the Garmin. It has all kinds of neat things. It tracks heart and everything like that. So if I die, I can look down and know, oh, my heart stopped. And I'll know, that I'm gone. But it has its practicalities, but I also have a pocket watch. I love winding the pocket watch up every 3 days. I wish I could get one that was brass, one that's like 100 years old. Those are heavy. They don't make those anymore, but yeah, there's some beautiful pocket watches. Maybe all that is one of the reasons I like tweed so much too. As winter comes around, we hit into the low 50s. That is official tweed season. And I know that may make me look old, but I just love tweed. It makes me feel warm. Put my pens in my pocket. I usually will have a paperback book. I mean, don't get me wrong, I enjoy ebooks. I used to develop them. When they first started, I was into the developing of ebooks for companies. And I enjoy having them because you can actually just copy and paste it in something, so it makes it great for research. But I like an actual printed page, which is one of the reasons why I have a library. I used to never write in books. I always thought that was anathema. You have a book, you keep it pristine. But then it kind of dawned on me, see if I can move out of the way of the light there. It dawned on me that to make a book kind of part of you, you need to own the book. You need to kind of write in the book, mark it up. So I highlight specific statements or sections. I'll make notes in the margins. Textual criticism, they call that marginalia. I will ask questions. And I think that's good. When you read something, it needs to be critical reading. That sun is just right in my eyes. And I don't think it's going to move. Nope, it's not going to move. Not as fast as I want it to. So I'll lean over here like a trapezoid. So I don't forgot my train of thought again. Probably need to start this over. I know I was talking about, writing the margins of books. Yeah, that to me, that helps you to own that content. You've critically analyzed it, you've made questions, you've made comments, you can do references. And when you write down, there's something about that. In fact, even just the process of writing, people have discovered something in the brain as you're writing things down, it's imprinting that on the brain. Listening to audiobooks is nice. I can listen to audiobooks that are like stories. So fantasy, sci fiction, some sci-fi, I can listen to those. But if it comes to a technical book, history, science, technology, if I listen to it, I have to actually stop what I'm doing. I can't be driving. I have to stop and I have to write down questions and notes as the person is talking. That's what helps me to remember the content. Understand, whenever you flick the ashes off the end, you shouldn't have a cone like that. That means I am drawing too hard on this. It's supposed to be flat for the most part. I'm a bad cigar smoker. But all those things, pens and nice paper, leather notebooks, pocket watches, actual books, There's something about that. And maybe it's because our society is so fast-paced. So many advertisements. I think the average person sees over 1,000 ads per day. Maybe it was 10,000. That seems a lot, but I wouldn't doubt it, at least 1,000. I mean, you just scroll through social media, you'll see all kinds of pictures and advertisements, and you're watching TV, you'll see that. So I think when you can get out by yourself, whether you go to a park or whether you have a backyard or however you can isolate yourself, it's just nice to relax and be quiet. I saw a TV show a couple years ago, and it was a lady, she was a real estate agent, and this is like the early 90s, I think it was. They were talking to her, and this guy, she was always talking very just go, go, go. And he said, there's something wrong. He said, why? He said, I want you to try something for me. And she was probably 35, I guess. I thought she was old at the time. She's just a baby now to me. And the guy asked her, he said, I want you just to be quiet. It wasn't in a mean way. He said, I want you to be silent for just 3 minutes. Don't say anything. 3 minutes, just sit there and just be in silence. They were recording her, and she made it about 20 seconds before she started crying. He said, what's wrong? And she wasn't upset before. There was nothing that happened in that 20 seconds. She says, I can't. She says, I can't be with my own thoughts. I have to talk to fill the space, to fill the void. I think there are a lot of people like that. There's the void, the null, the silence, being by themselves or just being in their own head for a few moments is not something that a lot of people can do today. They've got to have it filled with something, some soundbite, some social media. It's they call the fear of missing out, FOMO. I like missing out. I like sitting by myself, but I wouldn't call myself an isolationist. I enjoy solitude, but I also enjoy being around just a few people. I love being with another individual on a trip that you can talk to. To me, that is amazing. You can delve into conversation. You're kind of right there into the car. You can't go anywhere. I mean, you're going 80 miles an hour. Not that I drive that fast. It's usually 85. But you're there. You're just talking. You're communicating with someone. I love that as far as small groups. Get a small gathering of 10 people or less, and I really enjoy just the dynamic of what happens. It's just people interacting with each other. Uh-oh. Something fell back there. Well, this has gone quite long. I know some of my videos are going a little bit longer, but I've been thinking about that this week. I've been thinking about trying to find property that's out, a little more isolated. But I enjoy those simpler things of life. Today was the day when we had, on the other side of the state, was the shooting. A guy ran his vehicle into a Mormon church over there. Grand Blank, I think is what it's called. Started shooting up things. Something's back there. A few people have been killed by that. A lot of people injured. I believe there was another shooting at a restaurant. Someone just pulled up a boat, started shooting people. They have him. I think the guy who did this at the Mormon church, I think he got shot. So I don't know if they're going to know why he did what he did. But yeah, it's just a confusing world. And it's not that this is new. I mean, this has happened throughout the history of the world. People have done things of this nature. But sometimes you just get away from the world and just say, hey, I just want to relax. And I find those little moments of writing things down, the idea of checking your pocket watch or whatever it may be, kind of brings you from the busyness of the world. And maybe it's just artificial, but I think there is something to it. It allows you to kind of relax. Sit back and just enjoy yourself. Enjoy the few people that you have. I find that I don't have a lot of close friends. I probably have maybe 10 people that I would say I'm very, very close with. But that's just me. I've always been a person when I was in high school, even in college, I was not a person who was in front of everybody. I enjoyed kind of being by myself. I think it was kind of that person that everyone knew existed, but no one really knew much about, except for the very few people, 2 or 3 people that really talked to me. And it wasn't that I was shy, but it wasn't I didn't want to have friends. I just, I've never found, I can't have too many. That may seem odd, but I can't have too many because it's hard to keep up with everybody. I like having a few people that I kind of dig deep with. I mean, it's some people that's on here I've had a chance to do that with. Dave McDonald, who's right here in the area, I had a chance to go to his house. Amazing house. Beautiful house. I mean, he has a harpsichord that he's built. I mean, it's just a stunning house. It's like a museum. And he plays the harpsichord. I mean, he's a very talented person. But it was just amazing to sit down with him and have a pipe. And it's like, that's what I like. Love that kind of stuff. I try to respond on here to people that comment. I haven't done my last few videos because I've had some problems with something's not working right, and I'm not sure what that is. So I assume it's an ID10T error on my part, but I'll get it worked out. So, well, we've gone longer than what we were going to go before. We're at 22 minutes and a half. So I'll just say farewell. I hope that you have a great week. It's still been beautiful here. We need some rain, but it still is gorgeous watching these colors change. I hope that you're in an area where you can see leaves that change. That's the one redeeming aspect of Michigan. You get all of the seasons. And you get to dress in tweed for at least 2 of them because it gets cold enough. So I have a felt hat. I'm gonna put my felt hat later. Seems as though my hair is always just, I don't know if it's coming out or what, but I have an Irish cap. I'm gonna start wearing those, but I have to wait till it gets warmer. You have a great day. Hope that you're reading something. Maybe next time we can come back and share some thoughts on some books that I've just recently picked up. And it's more about the philosophers of ancient Greece, Plato, Aristotle, and Socrates. I just got that book. So maybe we can share some things on that, some of the ideas that a guy, the name of Lewis, not C.K. Lewis, that's a comedian. His last name is Lewis, or his first name is Lewis. One of them is Lewis, I know that. But he's got some interesting, he's an English professor, but he writes a lot about philosophy and Greek, the Greek era, Greek philosophers. So, but we'll talk to you soon. Take care, and Lord bless you.